against the unbeaten Hawke'S Bay side. And Mark the Bull Allen. These guys have been very impressive throughout season 2002.
Well, they haven't missed a bonus point in round robin play. They've also averaged over 40 points a game, but of course that all means nothing here. The one-off semi-final, so the form book goes out the back door. It's all on the one game. Bryce
Lawrence is the referee, son of Keith.
Good Bay of Plenty man. I've seen him referee, does a pretty fine job too.
Jacob Kennedy gets things underway at McLean Park in Napier. Taken up straight away by Mia. The halfback is Soira. And the left wing now Safula now for Hawke'S Bay. Donovan Hall with those lovely Elvis sideys. Lung Wai brings it back, meets the heavy traffic of Nelson BAYS.
Yeah, and expect to see Hawke'S Bay do this a lot at the start of the game, trying to bring it back to their very big forward pack. That's where they've based a lot of their impressive performances around this year.
No advantage.
But a little knock on there, of course. So Nelson BAYS get the feed to the scrum.
In fact, he might have clipped those mighty sideys. That man Donovan Hall, the pressure just on the Nelson BAYS scrum. Across to Rudolph Meredith. Strong run from Meredith. It's the pass back in field to Leary. And Leary's kick is just into touch. Nelson BAYS, Barley Schwartz said they've got nothing to lose. Up against the side who've made every post a winner so far in season 2002. Schwager, plenty of line-out targets here in the Hawke'S Bay side. Towards the middle there, well, no jump required on that occasion from Atkinson. Number 8, the skipper is Mutu Narimu.
Hawke'S Bay back in the side. Hamish has been out for a couple of weeks with an injury, so back into the team today, and there he's got the ball on.
Does very well there. Recovery, good recovery here from Hawke'S Bay. Kennedy, Kararia outside him. Well, he's quick. He loves the try line. He's one of the entertainers of the second division. Thank you very much, Ray. And it all came from a Hawke'S Bay mistake by Peter Belsky. Lost the ball, but Narimu, there it was, lost there. Narimu got back, as Bull Allen pointed out, and then they launched the counter-attack.
Yeah, Jacob Kennedy with his hands on the ball here. Kararia out on the wing, unmarked. And I tell you what, the determination of this man that we see in the Tantalised replay says it all, really. 5-point try, 5-metre dive.
Yes, lovely swan dive from Ray Kararia. Kennedy, perfect timing of the pass.
And look at the face. Boy, oh boy, he's here to play today, this boy. Fantastic. An 8 out of 10 for the dive. Not a bad effort there either.
Loves a Kenner on bread. Nothing wrong with that. Kararia. The scrum to set. The media of the front row committee. The tight head prop is Briggs. This is the near side for Nelson BAYS up against Newland. Loose head for Hawke'S Bay. Trying to crash it up there. Fa'u. Marmia again. Joe Marmia.
Offside 14.
Soira. Strong running by Kimura. The centre turns it back in to Mill, the veteran. First 5-8. Nelson BAYS with a real opportunity here. Just crowding each other a little bit. This is Muller.
Let it go.
Only a metre short. The feet working in there now for Nelson BAYS.
Stay.
Soira waiting.
Stay, 8.
And they elect to take the drop goal opportunity, but...
Well, they ran out of options, Hamish, to be fair to them, didn't they? The ball was far too slow in there. Hawke'S Bay were able to slow it down, which the effect being that they lost momentum. So they sort of just ran themselves out of options in the end.
This time stood still almost for a minute there or so.
Lost forward now.
From the drop out from the 22. Lost forward by Nelson BAYS, and Hawke'S Bay will get a chance to soak it up and relieve some of the pressure.
You'd expect Hawke'S Bay to be feeling well in the scrums this afternoon. The front row's been together for quite some time. Belsky, Swolger and Newland, Johnson and Atkinson, plenty of experience with Narimu in the back, so very experienced forward pack this Hawke'S Bay lot.
No, hold it.
Well, he's going to go in there and penalise Muller.
Leave him.
Sorting out between Muller and Belsky.
Well, as you'd expect in a game of this magnitude.
Peter Belsky has a bit to say to Muller as well. Peter Belsky, raised in the Manawatu Hills, not too far from my neck of the woods. His family from the Hawke's Bay, where he's domiciled these days, known as the Beast.
Inside the 15, come in. Don't collapse.
Well, there on the ground, just trying to slow the Hawke's Bay momentum down. Crafty old prop.
One or two slippers might come his way, and we're not talking Cinderella if he lies there much longer.
Now leave it.
Hall.
Still playing the advantage.
Back it comes to Hall. Advantage with Hawke's Bay. Schwalger
Playing it.
tries to straighten things up the only way he knows.
Come back.
Straight ahead. Manawatu, Norman.
Advantage over.
Cut back into Lungwai inside the 22 of Nelson Bays now. Hawke's Bay looking to crank it up. Hall can see it. But they prevented it from coming out there, I think. The open side, Leary, Carl Leary for Nelson Bays. But the scrum goes the way of Hawke's Bay anyway.
Yeah, nice little move here. Just a little pop inside. Lungwai just hitting it at pace, making some good momentum. And Leary, though, in the end, just flops himself. Look, he's on his feet there, quite legal. Then he flops over the side. But sometimes you get in that position where you get knocked from behind.
Davis Norman tries to free the ball. The tackle made, though. They free it down the right. The pass back inside, intercepted and into touch by So'era. Seta So'era.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous there. So'era doing a pretty good job. But still, Hawke's Bay.
His target nicely with Atkinson. Only a metre or two out.
Stay here. Stay here.
Here it is for Hall. Has a little ferret around the side. They have it up Hawke's Bay, so perfect position to get the wedge working and drive forward here. Nelson Bay's equal to the task at the moment. But Hawke's Bay work it to the right, and who's underneath there? Held up, says the referee, Mr. Lawrence.
5 and 5 scrum.
Well, that's good work from Nelson Bays. Hawke's Bay generally score from those positions, doing some good defensive work.
Kieran Kane, the coach of Hawke's Bay.
Crouch and hold only.
A few notes.
Yep, wait for the call. Engage.
The referee on the rise.
Stay bound. Stay 9, stay there.
Narimu has it in the van for Hawke's Bay. Just a few metres out. Look to get the shunt on here. Belsky at the front with Newland. The front row doing a good job. Now it is there for Narimu. Pulled down a metre short. Hall goes in for it. Off to Schwalger. Great body position. Half a metre out. Hall. Manawatu. Norman stepping. Trying to get past five. Ooh, can't do so. Now he does. And crashing over in support. The big blind side. Michael Johnson gets the try.
We've seen him score a couple of these this year. But look for the early run here from Davis Norman in the Tantalised replay. Joe Fire, who's a big man, he manages to get rid of him, truck it on another couple of metres, and like a good blindside flanker, Michael Johnson in support there and just dives over to finish the movement off.
Yeah, great support from the blind side on the Tantalised replay here. Fai'u, though, he went high, and that was costly as Norman came through, and Michael Johnson, the grin on his face, real workhorse of this Hawke's Bay side. He gets the try. So the try converted, and Hawke's Bay comfortable at the moment over Nelson Bays by 14 points to 0.
Mark Atkinson winning another two-handed take in the line out, doing a great job.
9 feet 7 blue, thank you.
There you go, Hawke's Bay again on the drive. Twisting, turning.
No problem.
Very hard to counter this too, Hamish, when the ball's in the back.
Stay here.
And they're going forward, very hard to stop. But Nelson Bays have managed to stop it this time.
And given their backs a chance to set the defensive screen, which is equal to the task. Hawke's Bay just making it to the advantage line. Hall can see it on the deck again. He's done a good job at halfback, taking over from Stewie Forster last season. Hall again. Norman into the tackle of Leary. Carl Leary, the open side flanker for Nelson Bays. Inside the 22.
He's on his feet.
And not releasing in the tackle, Norman. So Nelson Bays have the opportunity to take the quick one, which they do so through Milne. This is Kararia carving them up the middle.
And this guy's come on and leaps and bounds. Ray Kararia, he's great to watch.
correct entry at the tackle.
A very laid-back customer, apparently, Ray Kararia, but certainly enjoying his football in season 2002.
Through the gate. Not in here.
Hails from up the coastway.
20 seconds, mate.
And Richard Kinnear will have this penalty attempt. And he comes, kick of about 38 metres. Slots it nicely, flags are up. And Hawke's Bay lead at half-time by 17 points to 0. So Mutu Narimo taking the troops back in under the stand. He'll be happy with that first half performance. Cape Kidnappers in the background there. And this is the second half of this semi-final. Air New Zealand NPC second division action. Milne with the restart for Nelson Bays, who have the job in front of them. It's a tough job too, Bull Allen.
It's always tough when you're playing catch-up because you're forced to chance your arm a lot more, and that's when the mistakes come.
Hands.
So hands in there straight away from Nelson Bays, and Kinnear will look to take it up the touchline. Don't expect this Hawke's Bay side, though, to lay down and just protect their lead. There's some note-taking going on, or a bit of a message down the sideline from Kieran Kane.
He's done a great job with this Hawke's Bay team. Although they performed very well last year, of course, in the second division, they've really gone up to another level, I believe, this year.
Well,
really
I think one or two players, too, have gone on. Reece Robinson, Daniel Quate, guys that have moved on, and yet the Hawke's Bay side, Stu Forster, they've come back a better team, possibly in season 2002. Kinnear putting the kick in behind here, a bit of space here. Look to work it out, Nelson Bays from their 22. And it's a good kick downfield by the replacement player.
Lung Wai doing some great work. He had the Nelson Bays defenders up on him, but he still manages to make 30 metres and link up with Swolga. Fantastic play from the centre.
Roll off, Blue.
And great support from the hooker too. Belsky plays halfback. Not a bad pass either. Kinnear. Opportunity for Kennedy. Gassing into the line, the fullback. Promising young fullback. Of course, they had a promising young fullback last year. Glenn Horton, these days down in Otago. And the high tackle going against Nelson Bays.
I want to talk to him. Steve.
Belsky unleashed the beast. There he is, the big fella.
The big number 3.
He's like all front
A
rowers,
long
mate,
line of mighty fine props from Palmerston North Boys High School, Bull. Just thought I'd mention that. Rub it in.
Of course, of course.
And he comes. Kinnear. Sluts a penalty. So 23 points to 3. Hawke's Bay, 20 points in front. Changes to come.
We just saw Tim Manawatu there on the sidelines. Picked up an injury in this match, so we hope that's nothing too serious for the young first 5'8".
Go back. Go back.
Ball waits for it again. Referee Lawrence barking a few instructions. Familiar sight, a referee Lawrence barking a few instructions. Haven't seen it for a while, of course. This one, the mini-me version. And over the line into touch.
Well, Nelson Bays really need to score sometime in the very near future as the gap grows to keep in this match. They really need some points and quickly.
Mark Bright, replacement player on, also out there. Tukatu. And Nick Webster, Ross Soper. So they certainly have rung the changes, Nelson Bays, in an attempt to